Hello everyone, in this video we're going to cover the concept of diffusion and then ultimately how you can use it to explain another concept called osmosis, but that's in the next video. In this video we're also going to explore some of the prime examples of diffusion in nature and in biology. So diffusion can simply be characterized as the net passive movement of particles or molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. And passive in this case just really means without energy. So this movement is spontaneous and happens naturally in nature. And when I say the net movement, I mean literally mathematically. I will explain that for you to achieve diffusion, you must have a concentration gradient. So that means that one place must have a bigger concentration than another. And if that difference in concentration is really big, then that means that the net movement will be also bigger. And when I talk about concentration, I specifically talk about the concentration of one particular substance, because if you have more than one substance involved, that's when it starts becoming tricky, and that's also where osmosis can be a prime example of concentrations of different substances together. And when we say that diffusion does not require energy to happen, we just mean an outside force, because for you to move a block, a piece of wood from one place to another, you need an external force, you need someone pushing it. But with diffusion, the particles, they already vibrate, they move randomly. So they bump and collide with each other until it is filled, the whole space is filled with equal amounts of particles, right, and distributed in a space, and it is in a state of equilibrium. So this illustration might help you visualize simple diffusion. So this droplet of whatever blue substance that is, it is very highly concentrated, but water has no amounts of concentration of this substance. So when you drop that in, it starts spreading very quickly, and you can see the difference in spread because now the water, which is highly diluted, is getting even more concentrated with this substance in particular. So for you to understand the principles of osmosis, you must acknowledge that when we talk about the concentration of that blue substance, for example, and the concentration of water, we are talking about different concentrations, because that substance has a very low concentration of water, but water has a very high concentration of water. But also that substance has a very high concentration of that substance, and water has a very low concentration of that substance. So they are inversely proportional. So they are directly opposite each other. Ultimately, the goal of diffusion is to equalize that level of concentration. So once the process has occurred, you will have the same concentration of water and the blue substance in one specific allocation of space. And right next to it, you will also have the same level of concentration. So wherever you stand, there will be the same level of concentration of the substances. That is when diffusion has been complete and the concentration gradient has been canceled, because then there will be no gradient. So this is a prime example of where diffusion occurs in nature and biology. So it occurs in gas exchange when carbon dioxide diffuses into the alveolus and oxygen diffuses out and into the blood to be transported into the cells, which is where it is necessary. And then after carbon dioxide diffuses into the alveolus, it will be breathed out by the organism, and then that cycle continues. Here is the continuation of that process when oxygen is transported to these tissue cells over here, where it will be used for cellular respiration. So it diffuses into the cells, and carbon dioxide therefore diffuses out, and then it will be sent to the alveolus to be breathed out. And ultimately, we also have diffusion in photosynthesis. But in the next video, we will talk about osmosis then. So I'll see you there, and check out our other videos on biology and chemistry in the science page. Don't forget to check out our website as well. See you when we talk about osmosis.